hope you brought your appetite, Cuse fans, because we've got a feast of a show for you this week. I'm Heather Prusak alongside our analysts, Weston and Ron Schiltz. Guys, the Orange may be coming off a sugar rush from last week's comeback win. Maybe they ate too much candy, but I guess you just never know which SU team is going to show up.
Well, Heather, Syracuse is less like a reliable Hershey bar and more like a box of Russell Stovers. And I hate to go to Forrest Gump, but you never know what you're going to get. They could be down 20 points in the first half and score 34 in the second. You never know.
They have to be one of the most inconsistent teams because you never know. The defense might play really well and stop a great running back like they did against UConn and Pitt, or then they might give up 370 yards to someone like USF. You never know what you're going to get. It could be a very exciting week this week.
Well, we'll hear more from you guys in just a bit, but I'm no Ryan Norton, but I'll do my best impression. Let's head over to the kickoff. Last week against South Florida, SU's wide receivers really felt the love. Offensive coordinator Nathaniel Hackett and the Orange shifted their attention from the ground to their receivers. Quarterback Ryan Nassib ended the night with 328 passing yards and 4 touchdowns. As Nassib points out, this change came because of USF's linebackers.
A lot of success I had in the pass game this Saturday was because they were loading the box and they were leaving receivers on one-on-one coverage. I mean, South Florida did good. We're trying to stop the run, and we saw that, and that's what it opened up the passing game.
Now the Cuse sits at 4-4, just 2 wins away from reaching the postseason. Sounds simple enough? Well, if we remember the end of last season, all SU needed to do was win 1. Instead, it dropped its last 5. But this season, there's a new feeling among the team, and Shamarko Thomas says there's a reason for this new attitude.
It's just the coaches and their mentality and just the leaders and their mentality. We just, and the young cats, man. I feel like this year our bond is different, man. Like we know we're capable of a lot of things, and we just come together and keep fighting.
It's that positive mentality that helped SU rally last week against USF. But in the first half, we saw a different Orange team, down 20 points in the second quarter. In the end, I guess a win's a win, but linebacker Sirike Diabate says the Orange as a whole must play for the full 60 minutes.
We just got to come out ready to play right off from the first snap to the last snap of the game. Last week we probably made some mistakes that, we usually don't make, and certain guys, all of us, got to be ready to play. And I think once we do that, we'll be a really good defense and we'll be ready to go.
So those are some of the candidates on this Syracuse campaign. Well, I know Election Day isn't for another week, but our analysts just couldn't wait to cast their votes. It's time to grab the ballots, close the curtain, and head to the CC polling booth. Now. Well, welcome back, Evan and Ron. Guys, this is how it's going to work in the CC polling booth. We're going to have a ballot. There's the Syracuse party and the Cincinnati party, and you're going to tell me who you're voting for in this one. Representing for Syracuse with the quarterbacks, we have Ryan Nassib, and for Cincinnati, Munchie Legault. So who are you picking in this one?
Well, I'm excited to do my civic duty here, Heather. I'm going to go ahead and vote for Ryan Nassib. I think he's just a more accomplished quarterback than Munchie Legault for Cincinnati. Nassib is one of the top passers in the country this year, much less the Big East Conference, and he went off in the second half last week. I'd like to see his momentum keep going.
I'm going to have to agree with you on this one. Absolutely, Nassib gets the better in this matchup because Nassib, offensively, passing-wise, his arm is much better than Legault's. And Legault, even though he gets the edge on the ground, Nassib has better weapons around him with Sales and Lemon and and giving the ball to Jerome Smith and Prince Tyson Gully. He's got weapons all around him, whereas Legault, you never know what he's going to do.
So you guys are both taking the Syracuse party for the quarterbacks with Ryan Nassib. Heading over to the running backs for the Syracuse party, we have Jerome Smith, who is yet to get a touchdown, and then we have George Wynn for the Cincinnati party. So who are you going to vote for in this one?
I'm going to punch my ticket for Cincinnati on this one. I know I'm crossing party lines a little bit there. But George Wynn, he gets 100 yards a game. He's very versatile. He moves laterally in between the tackles, and once he hits that hole, boom, he's gone. Burst of speed. Downfield, past the secondary, and nobody's catching him. Absolutely, George Wynn gets my vote on this one.
Well, I'd like to agree with you, and I know Jerome Smith's been down in the polls, but I'm going to go with Smith. There's a reason he beat Prince Tyson Gully in the primary to be Syracuse's feature back. He knows how to run downhill, and he showed it recently. Smith last week had a nice game against USF, had a nice game against UConn. I know the tank package didn't quite work out with him, But you know what? He's young, he's learning, and he's fast.
Well, I guess we're going to have to see who's going to come out on top with this one. But heading over to the head man, representing the Syracuse party, of course, we have Doug Marrone. And then for the Cincinnati party, we have Butch Jones. So who are you taking with this one?
I'm going to vote for Jones here. He's newer to the conference than Marrone is, but he makes up for his inexperience with success. At Central Michigan, he led that team to MAC titles with Dan Lefevre at quarterback. And then he comes into Cincinnati replacing Brian Kelly, who went to Notre Dame, and he did a great job. He got them to a bowl game last year, won Coach of the Year. He's doing it again this season. Butch Jones over Doug Marrone. We can't afford another 4 years of that guy.
I don't know, though. Doug Marrone, for the players that he's had, hasn't done all that bad a job. Plus, he's coming off of 2 wins with this team, and he knows going into this game that they need to get the win. He's got this team prepared, and it's time for him to say, you know what, it's not my fault this time. You guys need to go out, and you need to do your job. So Doug Marrone gets my vote on this guy.
But Doug Marrone has to run on his record, and he's weak on the issues voters care about. Special teams, discipline, penalties, all that sorts of things. I got to go with Jones.
Well, we're going to have to see who's going to win that one. But now we talked a little bit about some of the key things to look out for. But who's your X factors in this one?
Well, my X factor is going to be Munchie Lego, the quarterback who I voted against with Cincinnati, but not just his legs. I'm talking about his right arm. Lego profiles as a guy who runs a lot and can throw a deep ball, but his accuracy is in question. He only completes about 50% of his passes. Syracuse has a weak passing defense. If Lego's going to go off, it'll be this week. And if he can establish a deep ball, SU's going to have a long, long afternoon.
My X factor for this game, the real key, I think, is the SU running attack. Because if you open up the running attack, then it opens up the passing game. And the best player on the field for Syracuse most of the time has been Ryan Nassib. So once the rush gets him going, once the rush gets going, Jerome Smith, Prince Tyson Gully, they start hitting the holes. The linebackers will start creeping up, and then he's going to be able to open up the game. So it really starts with that rushing attack.
Well, Evan and Ron will have to see if your X factors will make a difference in this game. But now, at the end of the day, the only thing that matters is the final score. So who you got in this one?
Well, Heather, I know I picked twice for the Syracuse party, but this week, Munchkins, Cincinnati, 31-21 over Syracuse.
Well, I'm going to have to go with Syracuse 28-21 just because I think Syracuse knows that they need this win. But can I have a Munchkin, please?
Absolutely, bud.
All right,
there you go.
All right, guys. Well, unfortunately, that's all the time we have left, but don't worry, we're online. Check us out at sportsblog.citrustv.net for all your coverage of SU sports. We're also on Twitter at CitrusTVSports and at Cuse Countdown. If you tweeted us, your tweet just might appear on our show, and who doesn't want their tweet on our show? Well, that's all the time we have for Evan Weston and Ron Schiltz. I'm Heather Prusak. Go grab your favorite munchie and enjoy the game.